Good morning, everyone. Myself Priyanka, Senior Assistant Professor, BBDU Lucknow. Today we will discuss about GMP requirements for premises and materials. So let us see firstly what is GMP and CGMP. GMP is basically that part of quality assurance which ensures that products are consistently produced and controlled to the quality standards appropriate to their intended use and also as required by marketing authorization. And Schedule M under Drugs and Cosmetics Act specifies good manufacturing practices and also requirements of premises, plants, and equipment for pharmaceutical products. So, GMP, as the name specifies, is good manufacturing practices, and CGMP is current good manufacturing practices. We will discuss about CGMP in our next slide. So CGMP, as I told you, is refers to the current good manufacturing practice regulations, and that is enforced by the FDA. What is FDA? FDA is Food and Drug Administration. So CGMP regulations are enforced by the FDA. And these regulations allows companies to use modern technologies and innovative approaches to achieve higher quality through continual improvement. The C in CGMP stands for current, which indicates that most recent standards, technology, and methods are being applied to operations. Both GMP and CGMP certify quality assurance of products, but C specifies that products are finished in more current manner. And as GMP rules and regulations are constantly improving. Because CGMP is using modern technologies, the cost of CGMP is more as compared to GMP. So, what is some example that show that CGMP help to assure safety and efficacy of drug products? So these examples are that facilities that are in very good condition, equipment that is properly maintained and calibrated, and employees that are enough qualified and fully trained, and processes that are reliable and reproducible. So these are few examples which shows how CGMP requirements assure the safety and efficacy of drug products. It helps in establishing strong quality management systems, obtaining appropriate quality raw materials, detecting and investigating product quality deviations, and it also helps in maintaining reliable testing laboratories. So CGMP and GMP is very important for maintaining reliable testing laboratories. Now come to our next slide, that is for general requirements of GMP. So firstly we will see about location and surroundings. So the factory building for manufacture of drug must be so situated that it avoid risk of contamination from external environment, and which type of contamination from external environment is to be avoided. It includes open sewage, drain, public toilets, or any factory which produce disagreeable or obnoxious odor or fumes, dust, smoke, chemical or biological emissions. So the factory for manufacture of drugs must be away from these chemicals and biological emission and excessive soot, dust, etc. The buildings and premises that is specified in GMP must conform to the conditions laid down in Factories Act 1948. So, what is the Factory Act 1948? The Factory Act 1948 is a social legislation which has been enacted for occupational safety, health and welfare of workers at workplace. The Factories Act ensures the safety and health of workers in laboratory. The objective of this act is to regulate the conditions of work in manufacturing establishments. Now, let us see some other points of buildings and premises that is covered in our next slide. So, the premises used for manufacturing, processing, warehousing, packaging, labeling, and testing purposes must be compatible with other drug manufacturing operations and also adequately provided with working space. And as much working space must be there so that the risk of mix-up between different categories of drugs or with raw materials should be avoided, and also the possibilities of contamination and cross-contamination can be avoided. That much space is there so that all contamination, cross-contamination and mix-up between different categories of drugs can be avoided. And some other requirements of buildings and premises are that the building and premises must be designed, constructed and maintained to prevent entry of insects, pests, birds, vermin and rodents. It must be air conditioned where prescribed for the operations and dosage forms under production. It should be well lighted, effectively ventilated with air control facilities, and also have proper air handling units wherever it is applicable. It should also be provided with proper drainage system of adequate size, and the drainage system should be such design that it prevent backflow and also prevent insects and rodents entering the premises. Also, the interior surface like walls, floors and ceilings must be smooth and free from cracks, and it also permits easy cleaning. So now come to these are the requirements of buildings and premises. Now come to the requirements of water system. So there must be validated system for treatment of water drawn from own or any other source in accordance with which standards? In accordance with standards specified by Bureau of Indian Standards or local municipality, as the case may be, and the purified water must conform to pharmacopoeial specification. The purified water produced must be used for all the operations of laboratory like analysis of drugs, titration purpose, etc. And potable water can only be used for washing and cleaning operations. For all analysis purpose, we must use purified water that conforms to pharmacopoeial specification. The water must be stored in such tank which do not adversely affect quality of water and ensures freedom from microbial growth. No microbial growth should be present in water, otherwise the water is not fit for testing or analysis purpose. The tank must be cleaned periodically and the cleaning record must be maintained by the licensee. So these are the requirements of water system, that proper system for treatment of water is available, and purified water must be used for all analysis purpose, and the cleaning record should be maintained by the licensee. Now come to disposal of waste. There is also regulation for proper disposal of waste. So what these GMP requirements say about disposal of waste? So the disposal of sewage and effluents like solid, liquid and gas from the factory must be in conformity with the requirements of Environment Pollution Control Board. So the disposal of waste such be like that it does not cause pollution in the environment, and that's why it is done according to the requirements of Environment Pollution Control Board. And all biomedical waste must be destroyed as per the provisions of Biomedical Waste Management and Handling Rules 1996. What is biomedical waste? Biomedical waste is also called hospital waste, and it contains infectious materials. Example of biomedical waste is unused bandages, discarded sharps from hospital, etc. So all biomedical waste must be destroyed according to provisions of Biomedical Waste Rules 1996. And also provisions must be made for proper and safe storage of waste materials waiting for disposal. Hazardous, toxic substance and flammable materials must be stored in suitably designed container, and it should be segregated and in enclosed areas in conformity with central and state legislations. So this is about the GMP requirements for disposal of waste. Now let us see about warehousing area. So there must be adequate area for warehousing of starting and packaging materials, intermediates, bulk and finished products, products in quarantine, released, rejected, returned or recalled products, and also there must be sufficient area for orderly warehousing of machine and equipment, spare parts and change items. Warehousing areas must be clean, dry and maintained with acceptable temperature limits. If acceptable temperature limits is not maintained, then the drugs can be degraded. So the drugs must be maintained within acceptable temperature limits. And also storage areas must have appropriate housekeeping, pest control procedures, and all the records must be maintained. Proper racks, bins and platforms must be provided for the proper storage of materials in warehousing area. Now let us discuss more about warehousing area in our next slide. So there must be a separate sampling area in the warehousing area for active raw materials and excipients. If sampling is performed in any other area, it must be conducted in such a way to prevent contamination and cross-contamination. Segregation must be provided for the storage of rejected, recalled, or returned materials. Such areas where storage of rejected, recalled, or returned materials are kept must be suitably marked and secured, and access to these areas and materials shall be restricted only to authorized personnel. Now let us see more about warehousing area. So highly hazardous, poisonous and explosive materials such as narcotics, psychotropic drugs and substances must be stored in safe and secure area. Sampling and dispensing of sterile materials must be conducted under aseptic conditions conforming to grade A, which can also be performed in a dedicated area with the manufacturing facility. So all sterile materials sampling must be conducted in under aseptic conditions. What are aseptic conditions? Aseptic conditions conform to where no microbes are present. And what is and there is grade A, grade B, grade C and grade D in aseptic area. And the grade A is the local zone for high risk operations. And we will discuss in detail about aseptic conditions and grade A, B, C and D when we discuss about GMP requirements for sterile products in aseptic area. So the dispensing of sterile materials must be conducted under aseptic conditions, free of microorganism, and it must be performed in a dedicated area. Regular checks must be made to ensure that adequate steps are taken against spillage, breakage and leakage of containers. Pest control should be done regularly and at least once in a year, and all the record must be maintained. Now come to production area. The production area must be designed to allow the production preferably in one directional flow and also with logical sequence of operations. Separate, dedicated and self-contained facilities must be available for production of sensitive pharmaceutical products like penicillin or biological preparations with live microorganisms. Working and in-process space must be adequate to permit logical positioning of equipment and materials and movement of personnel to avoid cross-contamination and also to avoid wrong application of any manufacturing and control measures. So these are the GMP requirements for production area, that it should be designed in such a way that production is preferably in uniflow and it should allow logical sequence of operations, and space must be adequate to provide logical positioning of equipment, and adequate space must be there so that we can avoid wrong application of any manufacturing and control measures. Now come to ancillary area. So ancillary area provide necessary support to the primary activities or operation. These areas are of equal importance when a facility is designed. These areas cover rest and refreshment rooms, toilets and wash areas. So what are the GMP requirements of ancillary areas? That rest and refreshment rooms must be separate from other areas, and these areas must not lead directly to manufacturing area. Also, for facilities for changing and clothes, washing and toilet purposes must be easily accessible and adequate for number of users. Separate toilets for males and females, which is not directly connected with production area, should be present. Maintenance workshop must be separate and away from production area. And area housing animals must be isolated from other areas. So this is the GMP requirement for ancillary area. Now come to quality control area. Quality control basically refers to the sum of all procedures undertaken to ensure the identity and purity of a particular pharmaceutical. So the quality control laboratories must be independent of production area, and separate instrument room must be there for sophisticated instruments. It should be provided with sufficient storage space for test sample, retained sample, reference standards, reagents and records. It should have proper ventilation, regular supply of water and separate air handling units for biological, microbiological and radioisotopes testing areas. And the quality control area must be divided into different sections, that like chemical, microbiological, biological, etc. And all these sections have a different arrangement. Like for microbiology section have arrangement like airlocks and laminar airflow workstation. Now let us see about quality control area. Firstly, we will see about the managerial and technical personnel in quality control area. So first is the head of laboratory, which is also called supervisor, who must have qualifications appropriate to the position and have extensive experience in medicines analysis and laboratory management in a pharmaceutical quality control laboratory or in industry. Next is the technical management. Next is analyst, who must be graduates in pharmacy, analytical chemistry, microbiology or other relevant subjects with the required knowledge, skills and ability to perform the tasks assigned to them by management adequately and also to supervise technical staff. The next is technical staff, who have diplomas in their subjects, and the last is a quality manager. So these are the managerial and technical personnel of quality control area. A head of laboratory, the technical management, analyst, technical staff and a quality manager. Now come to the contracts and purchasing services and supplies of quality control area. According to GMP, the laboratory should have a procedure for the selection and purchasing of services and supplies because it affects the quality of testing. The laboratory must evaluate suppliers of critical consumables, supplies and services and maintain records of these evaluation, and also list approved suppliers which have been demonstrated to be of a suitable quality with respect to the requirements of the laboratory. Now come to the GMP requirements of personnel. So the manufacture must be conducted under the direct supervision of competent technical staff having required qualification and practical experience in the relevant field. Next is the head of quality control laboratory must be independent of the manufacturing unit. The testing should be conducted under the direct supervision of competent technical staff who must be a whole-time employee of the licensee. Personnel for quality assurance and quality control operations should be suitably qualified and experienced. Now see some other requirements of personnel. That is, written duties of technical and quality control personnel shall be laid and followed strictly. All the duties of technical and quality control staff must be in written and it should be followed strictly. Number of personnel employed must be adequate and it should be in direct proportion to the workload. The licensee must ensure, in accordance with her written instruction, that all the staff in production area or in quality control laboratories must receive appropriate training according to the duties and responsibilities assigned to them. They must be provided regular in-service training. So, training of personnel engaged in quality control and quality assurance and also in production department is very important. Now let us see about health, clothing and sanitation of workers. The personnel handling beta-lactam antibiotics must be tested for penicillin sensitivity before employment, and those handling sex hormones, cytotoxic substances and other potent drugs must be periodically examined for adverse effects. So the health of staff is also important in according to GMP requirements. So the person or staff handling these sensitive substances like beta-lactam antibiotics must be tested for penicillin sensitivity, and those handling cytotoxic substances must be periodically examined for the adverse effect. Next is the personnel handling these sensitive substances must be moved out of these sections by rotation as a health safeguard. So there must be rotation of employees in these sensitive sections except in dedicated facilities, so that health hazard for one employee is less. If the work is according to rotation, there is less chance of adverse effect to one employee. And also, prior to employment, all personnel should undergo medical examination including eye examination, and the personnel employed for factory must be free from tuberculosis, skin and other communicable or contagious diseases. Thereafter, they must be medically examined periodically at least once in a year, and proper records must be maintained of health checkup of staff. Now let us discuss more about health, clothing and sanitation of worker. The licensee must provide the services of a qualified physician for assessing the health status of personnel involved in different activities. And according to GMP, all persons prior to or during employment should be trained in practices which ensure personal hygiene. A high level of personal hygiene must be observed by all staff engaged in manufacturing processes because they are directly involved in manufacturing of drugs supplied to customers and patient. So their hygiene is very important. No person showing at any time apparent illness or open lessons which can adversely affect the quality of products should be allowed to handle starting materials, packaging materials, in process materials, and drug products until his or her condition become better. So the person engaged in manufacturing process must be free from any contagious disease and ensure proper personal hygiene and should not have any that type of illness which adversely affect the quality of product. Now let us see some more points about health clothing and sanitation of workers. All employees must be instructed to report about their illness or abnormal health condition to their immediate supervisor so that appropriate action can be taken. If the health of employee is not good, they must inform to their supervisor so that supervisor can assign his her duty to any other staff. And direct contact must be avoided between the unprotected hands of personnel and raw material, intermediate or finished unpacked product. So the personnel handling the raw materials, intermediate or finished product must wear gloves so that the direct contact of his or her hand with the product can be avoided. So what is the objective of sanitation? Sanitation is basically done for removal of dust, to minimize the risk of contamination, to reduce the number of microorganisms and to control pests. That's why sanitation of worker is very important, which are handling the raw materials, packaged product, finished product, so that the good quality product can be supplied to hospitals and finally to customers. Some more points about health clothing and sanitation of workers. All personnel should wear clean body coverings appropriate to their duties. Before entering into manufacturing area, there must be change rooms for separate changing room for male and female with proper facilities for personal cleanliness such as wash basin with running water, clean towels, soaps, disinfectants, etc. Smoking, eating, drinking, chewing, or keeping food, drink, and personal medicines must not be permitted in production, laboratory, storage, and other areas because they might adversely influence the product quality. So, all these smoking, eating, and food products are not allowed in laboratory. There must be reserved space for these things. So let us revise what we have discussed in this slide. Firstly, we see about GMP and CGMP. GMP is that part of quality assurance which ensures product quality, and GMP comes under Schedule M of Drugs and Cosmetics Act. After that, we see about CGMP, that CGMP regulations are enforced by the FDA, and these regulations allows companies to use modern technologies to achieve higher quality standards. Then we have discussed about general requirements of GMP. In this, firstly we see about location and surrounding. After that, we have discussed about buildings and premises, that buildings and premises must conform to the conditions laid down in Factories Act 1948. After that, we see about the requirements of water system, that there must be validated system for treatment of water, and the purified water must be used for the purpose of analysis, and these water conforms to pharmacopoeial specification. Also, the water tank must be cleaned periodically, and the records must be maintained by the licensee in this behalf. After that, we have discussed about disposal of waste, that disposal of waste must be done in accordance with Environment Pollution Control Board, and all biomedical waste must be destroyed as per provisions of the Biomedical Waste Management and Handling Rules 1996. After that, we see about warehousing area, that there must be adequate area for sufficient and orderly warehousing of starting and packaging materials, machine and equipment spare parts and change items. Proper racks, bins and platforms must be provided for the storage of material. After that, we see about production area. The production area must be designed to allow production in uniflow and also with logical sequence of operations. Then we have discussed about ancillary area. There, that rest and refreshment rooms, facilities for changing, storing clothes, washing and toilet must be separate from manufacturing and production area. Area housing animal must be isolated from other areas. After that, we have seen about quality control area, that quality control laboratories must also be separate, and separate instrument room for sophisticated instruments must be present, and quality control area must be divided into separate sections, that like chemical, microbiological, biological, etc. Then we see about the staff of quality control area, that is a head of laboratory, the technical management, analyst, technical staff, and a quality manager. After that, we have seen about the GMP requirements of personnel, that the personnel for quality assurance and quality control operations must be suitably qualified and experienced, and written duties of technical and quality control personnel must be laid and followed strictly. And lastly, we have discussed about health, clothing and sanitation of workers, because health, clothing of workers is very important. If the health of worker is not good, then these might adversely affect the quality of product. Also, sanitation of manufacturing area is very important to assure the quality of product. So these things we have discussed in this part of GMP requirements. In the next parts, we will discuss about manufacturing operations and control. Also, we will discuss about sanitation in the manufacturing premises, GMP requirements for equipment, and finally, documentation and records and quality assurance in GMP requirements. Thank you all for your attention.